Brilliance Audio presents Bridging the Culture Gap, a practical guide to international business communication by Penny Carté and Chris Fox, performed by Tony Masano.
Every year at Canning, we meet around 5,000 managers from all over the globe. They come from large corporations, middle-sized niche companies, and small consultancy firms in a wide range of sectors. Some of them are in the early stages of their career. Others have already climbed to the top of the ladder. Some of them work behind the scenes, for example, in an R&D lab or the back office of a bank. Others are out in the field trying to find new customers or seeking out prospective joint venture partners, and an increasing number are being sent abroad to lead turnkey projects or manage a foreign team. No matter where they work or what they do, they all have one thing in common. As the globalization process gathers momentum, their contact with people from other countries is becoming ever more frequent, and they have found that the more national borders their companies cross, the greater the scope for misunderstanding and conflict. Every day, we hear stories about arrogant foreign bosses who make unreasonable demands, counterparts who seem to take pleasure in being obstructive or devious, audiences who unexpectedly react to a presenter's proposals with hostility and aggression, negotiating partners who try to deceive or, for no apparent reason, cancel a deal at the last moment. And as our clients describe these situations to us, their frustration and often anguish is plain to see. Sometimes, of course, their international partners are indeed being arrogant, devious, or deliberately obstructive. Most of the time, however, communications break down because there's a culture gap that neither side is aware of, or because compatriots back home at head office won't allow their managers in the field to adapt corporate policy to suit local needs. This book is based on the real business situations our international clients have described to us. Here is a typical example. A Swedish company had established very clear global purchasing guidelines. No more than 30% of any particular item could be supplied by one vendor. Quotes had to be obtained from at least 3 different suppliers, and contracts were to be awarded purely on the basis of price, delivery terms, reliability, and quality. Anders, the Swedish regional manager for Southeast Asia, was disturbed to note that, despite several reminders, the subsidiary in Vietnam did not appear to be following these guidelines. In fact, the range of suppliers they used seemed to be very limited, and most of them were Chinese. The subsidiary's Chinese manager seemed very unconcerned when Anders raised this problem with him. "Well, of course most of our suppliers are Chinese," he said. "I only use vendors I'm related to." When Anders explained that this practice would have to stop because it was unethical and anti-competitive, the Chinese manager was genuinely puzzled. "But I can't see what the problem is," he said. "My family are much more loyal and reliable than people I don't know. I can call them any time of day or night. They can't escape me. And of course, they give me much better discounts. Surely you don't want me to use suppliers I don't trust." Who do you identify with here? Anders, who was convinced that nepotism was unequivocally wrong, or the Chinese manager, who regarded giving contracts to his family as a perfectly normal, logical, and acceptable thing to do? If you were Anders, what would you do next? And what impact do you think your instinctive response would be likely to have on the Chinese manager? There are clearly a number of cultural differences that could affect the outcome of this situation. But what are they? And what lies behind them?